Hi everyone, this is Boogass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Star Wars The Black Series Lando Calrissian from Star Wars A Solo Story. From Solo, a Star Wars Story. So before we take a look at Lando, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with this blaster, which looks pretty good. It's just cast in that silver color, and the barrel is removable, so you can do that if you want to. And it just ports back in pretty easily. And he can hold it in his right hand. Although if you want to get him holding it in his trigger finger, he will be pointing it out like that. And he also has a holster on his right hip. Now, it's pretty complicated to get this in. First, you have to take that barrel off right there. Let me just put it right there. You have to... The only way I've found to actually get it in there is to do that. And then put this on. So I don't know if that's actually the way that it's supposed to be put on, but that's the way I've been putting it on. There, now it looks fine. Like I said, I don't know if that's the actual way that it's supposed to go in there, but that's the way that I've been putting it in there. And it is complicated, so I just prefer to have him just holding it in his hand, because then these little like prong things right here, these little rubber pieces, I bend them all the time trying to get the blaster out. I tried to find another way to put it in, but that's the only way that I could figure. So let me go ahead and put this back in his hand now, because it does stay pretty good even if you don't have his finger on the trigger there. It stays pretty well in there. And then he has this cape, his mini cape, and it looks really good. It's blue on the inside, that bright blue, and then black on the outside. And you can see it has a bit of a texture right there. And you can just slide it over his shoulders like that. Oh, and he also has this scarf right here, but I really don't count that as an accessory because it's meant to stay right there on his neck, under his collar right there. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt of this figure. So for the head sculpt, I think Hasbro did a fantastic job sculpting and painting this figure. It looks so much like Donald Glover, it's not funny. Hasbro has really been stepping up with their head sculpts lately, and I really love that. I like how he has that one eyebrow raised. It just looks so much like a young Lando. I'm unsure of how the Lando or the Solo movie might be, but I do think the actors Donald Glover and Alden Ehrenreich, I think they look perfect as young counterparts of Lando and Han. So that was some really good casting decisions right there. And right there he has his mustache and goatee and a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow. And this is actually, I think this is the first I have, Star Wars 6-inch figure that actually has ball-jointed head and a ball-jointed neck. I know the old Toy Biz figures used to have that, the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. So I really like that because that gives him an excellent range of motion. And right there, he has this glossy scarf. I actually thought this was Star-Lord's scarf, just repainted from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but it is not. It is completely different. It has these these white rectangles on it over the black. This figure just looks so cool, it's not even funny. And let me go ahead and take that off so I can show his shirt. Right there, the pocket is black, and that's black right there. And the rest is a really bright yellow. Especially on camera, that's showing up that it's really bright. And the belt to his pants is kind of like a pinkish collar and red. And then there's his belt, which has a little bit of sculpting to it. Let me see if, yeah, the camera's picking up that sculpting detail right there. Even has a few scratches and dents in his belt, so that's not a nice touch to it. And there are his legs, which not much going on there. I wonder if they actually reuse the normal Lando's legs. No, they do not. The new or the old Lando has different legs. So yeah, that is different. I feel like I've seen these legs somewhere before, though. It might be new, but I really feel like I've seen these somewhere before. I don't know. And then his boots are a very glossy black, which I like. I just really love this figure, because I just think he's a cool person regularly in real life. And then when it was announced that he was playing Lando in Solo Star Wars Story, I was very excited. I just really love that head sculpt. The hair sculpted nicely, and the head sculpt just looks a lot like him. And unlike some of the figures that use that face printing tech, his eyes aren't spotty. His eyes look pretty clear. Like if you get up close, you don't see any like spottiness on his eyes. And he has a little bit of paint variation on his face right there. Like if you see where his eyebrow is raised, you see a little bit right there. So yeah. Now I'm going to go over his articulation, which I will leave the cape off for this part because, as you can see, you really can't get any of his arm articulation with the cape on. And you really can't use that ball-jointed diaphragm either with the cape on. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this off here. He's got a ball-jointed head that can look back that far. And the ball-jointed neck also allows him to look up pretty far. And he can look down all the way with that neck and head joint right there. It can move side to side pretty well. And side to side that way as well. He's got ball jointed shoulders that can move all the way out. He's got single jointed elbows, but they have a pretty wide cut in them. Like if you see, it sticks up like that. And he can bend his elbows in all the way, even though it is a single jointed elbow. And he's got swivel at the wrist that can move side to side and up and down. And on this one, it's different. It is side to side and up and down this way. He's got a ball-jointed diaphragm that can move all the way back and down just a little bit, not much down. He can move side to side. He's got ball-jointed hips. His right hip doesn't move out as far because of that holster right there and that belt because it's connected. So you really can't get that much articulation. So for his left leg, he can kick forward all the way. And he can kick back just a little bit. He's got swivel at the thigh, double jointed knee. They can move out. That can actually bend pretty good. He's got swivel at the ankle and an ankle rocker. So for the right leg, he can only move out that far. He can only kick forward that far. He can't kick back at all. And he has swivel at the thigh that really can't move at all because of that being glued down too. So that is where the articulation is different. It is different right there on his right leg, which doesn't bother me because I'm not really going to get him into any kicking poses. Plus, if I wanted to, I could have him kick with his left leg. So there is that. So now let's go ahead and let me try and get him in a pose here so I can do size comparisons. If you get him in that kind of a pose, like a kind of roguish pose, where does cape go? Oh, there. It actually stays. I didn't figure it would. But man, he just looks really cool. So now let's do some size comparisons. Okay, so here he is. Next to the Empire Strikes Back Lando. And, oops. The Empire Strikes Back Lando is just a little bit taller. This is the Lando we all know. There. And you can see that he has the same style cape in Empire Strikes Back that he wears pre-A New Hope. So that looks pretty cool. And like I said, I think that choosing Donald Glover for the part, I think that was a really good idea. Like, you know, I think that this looks like a young version of this. Yeah, he looks like a young version of Billy D. Williams. So that's pretty cool. And I don't have any other figures from Solo Star Wars Story yet. So I'll just show him next to the older Han Solo, which he's really tall. I always thought this figure was just a little too tall. There he is next to him. And then here Lando is next to Chewbacca. I'm hoping that I can find that Target exclusive Chewbacca sometime soon, even though I don't have a Target around me. There he is next to Chewbacca. So yes, I would highly, highly recommend this figure. It is super awesome. The likeness is on point. The details, the sculpting, the paint. I think I already said the sculpting. But all of it is super awesome. So I would highly recommend this figure. So if you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.